Some love stories are written in scripts, staged beneath dazzling lights, and played out for the camera, only to end once the director shouts cut. But there are rare moments when fiction bleeds into reality, when the romance we admire on screen refuses to remain confined to the world of imagination. In the case of Hyunbin and Son Ye-jin, two of Korea's most celebrated stars, that is exactly what happened. Their story is not just the tale of two actors brought together by fate. It is a living, breathing romance that grew from shared glances, cautious beginnings, and eventually blossomed into one of the greatest real-life fairy tales modern entertainment has ever witnessed. Hyunbin and Son Ye-jin's love story, from crash landing on you to real life forever, feels so cinematic that even the most skilled writer could not have dreamed it up. And yet, it is real, it is theirs, and it has captivated the hearts of millions around the world. Long before their legendary pairing on screen, both Hyunbin and Son Ye-jin were already household names. Hyunbin had won over audiences with his quiet charm, smoldering intensity, and range of performances from romantic comedies to action thrillers. Son Ye-jin, hailed as the nation's first love, was beloved for her grace, her luminous screen presence, and her ability to make every role unforgettable. They were stars in their own right, admired and respected across Asia. Yet, despite moving in similar circles, their connection remained distant, like two parallel lines running alongside each other but never quite meeting. Fate, however, has a way of aligning paths when the timing is right. Their first significant collaboration came in 2018 with the movie The Negotiation. The irony was striking. Though they starred in the same film, most of their interactions happened through screens and phone calls, as Hyunbin played a ruthless criminal while Son Ye-jin took on the role of the negotiator trying to outwit him. But even through those limited moments, audiences and journalists sensed an inexplicable spark. During promotional interviews, their easy laughter, playful teasing, and mutual admiration did not go unnoticed. Something unspoken lingered in the air, something that felt more genuine than the rehearsed camaraderie of typical co-stars. At the time, both denied any romantic involvement, insisting they were simply colleagues who respected each other's craft. But those who had seen enough love stories play out on screen knew better. Seeds had been planted, and destiny was patiently waiting. In 2019, the announcement came that would change everything. Hyunbin and Son Ye-jin were cast as the leads in the upcoming TVN drama Crash Landing on You. The premise was dramatic and unconventional. Son Ye-jin as a wealthy South Korean heiress who accidentally crash lands in North Korea, and Hyunbin as the principled soldier who finds her and, against all odds, chooses to protect her. The story was thrilling, romantic, and dangerous all at once, and from the very first episode, it was clear that the magic lay not just in the plot, but in the palpable chemistry between its two stars. Their gazes lingered a moment too long, their conversations carried warmth beyond the script, and their silences spoke volumes. It felt real, too real, and audiences across the world could not stop themselves from wondering if the emotions captured on screen were merely acting, or something much deeper. As the drama unfolded, viewers became hopelessly invested. It wasn't just Yoon Se-ri and Ri Jong-hyuk's forbidden love they were rooting for, but the possibility that Hyunbin and Son Ye-jin's connection might mirror that same intensity in real life. Behind-the-scenes clips fed this growing curiosity. Hyunbin's quiet gestures of care, holding an umbrella over Son Ye-jin, guiding her gently on icy terrain, watching her with an expression that could melt anyone's heart, felt like glimpses of truth breaking through the performance. And Son Ye-jin's radiant laughter, her playful nudges, the way she seemed at ease in his presence, suggested comfort and familiarity that could not be faked. By the time Crash Landing on You concluded its run in early 2020, it had become one of the most beloved K-dramas of all time, sweeping across Asia and beyond, uniting fans in a frenzy of admiration. And yet, when it came to Hyunbin and Son Ye-jin's relationship, rumors swirled, but nothing was confirmed. They were photographed shopping together in Los Angeles. Their agencies denied it. They were spotted at gatherings. Their agencies brushed it off as friendship. Fans, however, held on tightly to hope, convinced that what they had witnessed on screen was simply too genuine to remain fiction. Then, on January 1st, 2021, everything changed. Dispatch, Korea's most infamous outlet for celebrity dating revelations, released photos confirming that Hyunbin and Son Ye-jin were, indeed, a couple. The news hit like a tidal wave, flooding headlines across Asia. But this time, there was no denial. Their agencies confirmed the relationship, and Son Ye-jin herself penned a heartfelt message to fans, saying she was grateful to have met a good person and was cherishing their connection. Hyunbin echoed her sincerity, proving that this was not some fleeting romance, but a bond built on respect, admiration, and something far more enduring. For fans, it was the ultimate validation. The fairy tale they had wished for had come true. From then on, their love story unfolded not in secret but in the open, though always handled with grace and dignity. Unlike many celebrity couples who thrive on public displays, Hyunbin and Son Ye-jin kept their relationship private, choosing to nurture it quietly. Yet whenever they appeared together, whether at award shows or industry events, their tenderness could not be hidden. Hyunbin's protective nature was evident in the way he guided Son Ye-jin through crowds, ensured she was comfortable, and stole soft glances at her when he thought no one was looking. Son Ye-jin's joy radiated through her smiles, her laughter, and the calm assurance of a woman who had found her partner. They were, in every sense, two halves that finally fit together. Then came the announcement that made millions rejoice once again. In February 2022, Hyunbin and Son Ye-jin revealed that they were getting married. The world erupted in celebration, and fans hailed it as the wedding of the century. Their agencies described the union as two people who had become each other's most important, and the anticipation for the ceremony grew worldwide. On March 31st, 2022, the fairy tale reached its breathtaking climax at the Grand Walker Hill Hotel in Seoul, where the couple exchanged vows in a private but stunning ceremony. Son Ye-jin was a vision of elegance in her white gown, her eyes shimmering with happiness, while Hyunbin, dashing in his tuxedo, looked every bit the man who had found the love of his life. The atmosphere was filled with warmth, laughter, and genuine joy, a true celebration of love that transcended the glamour of fame. For those watching from afar, it was a moment that felt both surreal and deeply personal, as though the love story they had followed for years had finally given them the ending they dreamed of. But love stories do not end with weddings. They only evolve. In June 2022, Son Ye-jin announced that she and Hyunbin were expecting their first child, a revelation that once again sent waves of joy across the globe. By November, the couple welcomed a healthy baby boy, stepping gracefully into the new chapter of parenthood. For fans, this was the sweetest continuation of a journey that had begun years ago with subtle smiles and shy laughter. Hyunbin and Son Ye-jin were no longer just co-stars, no longer just lovers or newlyweds. They were a family. And in that, their story became even more magical. What makes Hyunbin and Son Ye-jin's journey so captivating is not merely the glamour of their careers or the spectacle of their romance, but the authenticity of it all. In an industry where relationships often crumble under pressure, theirs has flourished. In a world where celebrity headlines often revolve around scandal, theirs has inspired hope. They have shown that love can withstand scrutiny, that it can thrive in silence, and that it can be both extraordinary and ordinary all at once. Their story is extraordinary because it involves two of the most iconic stars of their generation, admired across continents. But it is ordinary in the sense that, at its heart, it is simply about two people who found in each other laughter, comfort, and unwavering support. The legacy of Hyunbin and Son Ye-jin, often affectionately called Binjin, has already transcended the realm of entertainment. Their story has been immortalized by fans across the globe through art, documentaries, and endless celebrations on social media. They are more than actors. They are symbols of enduring love, proof that sometimes the best scripts are the ones life writes on its own. From their early days of quiet admiration to the heights of global fame, from shy colleagues to husband and wife, and now as parents, their journey continues to inspire. And perhaps that is what makes this love story so unforgettable. It doesn't end. It keeps unfolding, quietly but beautifully, just like real love always does. For Hyunbin and Sun Yi-jin, the world first fell in love with their fictional selves, but what keeps fans devoted is the real-life bond they share. Their story reminds us that destiny works in mysterious ways, that love can crash into your life when you least expect it, and that sometimes the most breathtaking romances are not the ones written in scripts, but the ones written in hearts. From crash landing to real life forever, their love is more than a story. It is a promise, a legacy, and a reminder that true love, no matter where it begins, always finds its way home. When we think of Hyunbin and Sun Yi-jin today, we no longer just see actors. We see two souls who dared to trust in destiny, who transformed the lines of a script into the vows of forever. Yet what makes their journey even more fascinating is how much their love story reflects the hopes, dreams, and emotions of millions around the globe. Their romance is more than a celebrity fairy tale. It is a phenomenon that has left an imprint on culture, on fans, and on the very way we perceive love in the modern world. What is it about their story that makes it so magnetic? The answer lies in the balance of fantasy and reality. Crash Landing on You gave us the fantasy, the impossible romance across borders, the life-or-death stakes, the heart-fluttering moments that made us cry, laugh, and dream. But their real-life journey gave us the reality. Two professionals who admired each other, took the risk to step beyond friendship, and found comfort in each other's presence. It is that delicate blend of cinematic passion and grounded sincerity that makes their story not just entertaining but deeply inspiring. Fans often say that Hyunbin and Sun Yi-jin's relationship feels like watching a drama unfold in real time, with every new announcement like a fresh episode. Their dating confirmation was the plot twist we'd all been waiting for. Their wedding was the grand finale that left us sobbing with joy. And the news of their first child was the bonus epilogue that reminded us this wasn't just a story to end. It was a story that would continue, quietly but beautifully, in the chapters of their private lives. Yet beyond the romance, what truly makes their love resonate is the way it feels both extraordinary and relatable. Hyunbin is the archetypal dream man, handsome, talented, protective. Sun Yi-jin embodies elegance, grace, and authenticity. But strip away the fame and glamour, and what we see is something every human longs for, a partner who looks at them with kindness, who stands beside them through joy and hardship, who makes them laugh freely and feel safe. Their story reassures us that no matter how chaotic the world becomes, love, real, steadfast love, is still possible. For fans of K-dramas, their journey also serves as the ultimate fantasy turned reality. How many times have we fallen in love with fictional couples, only to remind ourselves that the romance ends when the cameras stop rolling? Hyunbin and Sun Yi-jin shattered that illusion by proving that sometimes the chemistry is not just acting. Sometimes, what we see is the truth. And in doing so, they became not only entertainers, but symbols of destiny fulfilled. Their influence has also reshaped the cultural landscape. Internationally, Crash Landing on You became a gateway drama, introducing new audiences to the world of Korean entertainment. Viewers from different continents discovered K-dramas through binging, and many stayed to explore more of Korea's storytelling magic. Their real-life marriage only added to the phenomenon, turning casual fans into lifelong admirers and sparking conversations about Korean culture, romance, and the power of storytelling that transcends borders. But perhaps the most fascinating aspect of their love story is how it continues to inspire. Fans write letters and create fan art, couples hold themed weddings inspired by Crash Landing on You, and countless people find renewed hope in their own search for love. Hyunbin and Sun Yi-jin may be living their private life now as husband, wife, and parents, but their story continues to echo loudly in the hearts of millions who needed proof that true love is not just a fairy tale. And that is where the beauty of storytelling comes full circle. Because here, in this moment, we are not just talking about two actors. We are talking about the emotions they represent, the ideals they embody, and the joy they have brought into the lives of so many. Their love reminds us that we all have our own dramas, our own crash landings, and our own opportunities to find forever. If you are reading this, then you are part of that global family who believes in love, destiny, and the magic of stories that feel larger than life. And that is exactly what Midnight in Seoul is here for, to take you deeper into these captivating tales, to relive the moments that made you fall in love with K-dramas, and to give you a place where every heartbeat, every smile, and every stolen glance can be celebrated. At Midnight in Seoul, we don't just talk about dramas. We dive into the emotions behind them. We uncover the untold stories, the behind-the-scenes sparks, and the cultural impact that makes K-dramas more than just shows. They are experiences that connect us all. Just like Hyunbin and Sun Yi-jin connected people from every corner of the globe, we aim to bring you closer to the stars you admire and the stories you cherish. So, if Hyunbin and Sun Yi-jin's journey touched your heart, if their wedding made you cry tears of joy, if their fairy tale gave you hope, then you already know what this community is about. This is where we celebrate love, destiny, and the unforgettable moments of Korean entertainment. Don't let this story end here. Join the journey with us at Midnight in Seoul. Subscribe, share, and become part of a family that lives and breathes the passion of K-dramas. Because the next great love story, the next unforgettable moment, and the next breathtaking twist is always around the corner, waiting to be discovered. Hyunbin and Sun Yi-jin's story may have started on screen, but it continues in the hearts of millions. And now it continues here, with us, with you, with everyone who believes that some loves are written not just in scripts but in the stars. So hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and let's continue celebrating the stories that make us dream, laugh, and believe. This is your invitation to step into the world of love, destiny, and midnight magic. This is Midnight in Seoul, and together, we'll make sure the love stories never end.